welcome to another episode of Dear Beauty Podcast. This is Jen.
This is Alexis.
How was your week? It's so quick. I know I say this every week, but it's already Friday.
Yeah, it felt like I don't know, like it was one of those ones that was like really quick, but also like it could have been 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
We don't know anymore.
I don't know. I think it's because like stuff changed midweek. I think that's why it felt like 2 different weeks for me.
Yeah. Well, we brought on a new team member. It's Melissa. Melissa will be our, I guess, kind of moderator moving forward.
Sure.
Not really, because she's not here right now.
No, I feel bad. I was like, so you get to go home early because I need the room to record. And she's like, are you sure? Do you need anything? And I'm like, no. Bye.
Yeah, so
but
when
she'll do research for us and help us pick topics.
Yeah, so that way the content is more informational.
You mean like we're not fully talking out of our asses?
Yeah.
Because somebody took the time and energy to like actually research what we were talking about?
Yeah, so excuse all the past episodes. There are probably things... Look, okay. Do your own research. We're here to be entertaining. We're not here to be researchers, all right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take everything we say with a very large grain of salt.
So don't forget to, check us out on Instagram. We're Dear Beauty Podcast. Melissa will be on there more, so you can be expecting to have more content from us in the next couple of weeks.
If you want that.
Yeah, and then we'll also be trying to be more consistent, basically. Because this could be Friday right now, but you could be hearing this 5 weeks from now.
God only knows at this point.
Yeah. So I don't normally drink Starbucks, but today I saw my friend post on Instagram and it looked really good. And you know me, I'm a basic bitch. And when a drink looks good, I'm gonna try it. So anyways, I hopped over to Starbucks today and I got I wanted to get a venti because it looks cute, but I couldn't afford a venti, so I got a grande iced matcha latte with coconut milk and 2 pumps of white chocolate mocha, and it was delicious.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, so that's my Starbucks recipe.
Do you know what happened? I went in the back and the pastries were gone. Do you know?
Oh shit! I was gonna grab one. Oh,
did the boys take it, or did Melissa put it in the fridge?
I don't know, but I think they would have asked if we wanted one before they took it.
Oh,
because I didn't even get to eat one yet. That's rude.
I know, same.
How dare they?
Don't go accusing people. It could be in the fridge.
It could be in the fridge. I have this problem where I jump to conclusions. I jump off a cliff of conclusions. And I usually fall on my face because I jump to conclusions and it was never what I thought it was. So, but you know what? Blame it on my Enneagram.
Type 7. Just skirt right on to that conclusion cliff.
Okay, all right, let's start with you. So we have a bit of a different concept, trying to bring the most value to you. We're going to try it out. So Alexis has a really big brain in her really big head.
So on top of my really big boobs.
So she's going to be going over the history of the topics that we're going to be talking about. And then I'll be going over. Yeah.
Yeah. I think what we're going to try, we're going to see how it goes with this one.
Yeah.
And if it sucks, then we'll go back to our usual, just like dicking back and forth. But we're going to try and provide a little bit more informational value outside of our delightful personalities. And by information, we mean
Wikipedia and Google.
Listen, I got some of this stuff from Harper's Bazaar.
Yeah. So we're doing the research for you. This is clearly shit that you can Google, but we're condensing the information and making it entertaining.
That's, I feel like, what I learned from college more than anything is you don't actually need a college degree. You can just Google something.
Yeah, same with, I think the reason why I enjoyed my business classes towards the end of college was because I learned that you can just bullshit. I loved presentations because all I had to do was go up there and like I had to do a long ass research project on fucking fish sauce and how I would import that shit and make money off of it, and I got an A++ and I bullshitted out of my ass.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, my dad's finishing up he went back to college a couple years ago, and he's been doing like online school while my brother and I were both in college. It was pretty cute. But he was spending like literally 5 hours a night on homework for like 1 or 2 classes.
I could never spend that much time on homework.
I know. So I was like, dude, what's the homework? Like, what are you spending all this time on? And he's like, well, I have a 1,000-word essay and I have to do 2 blog posts and 2 responses.
Fuck
I'm like,
that.
okay, listen, like 1,000-word essay and blog posts, like you can bang those out. 1,000 words, that's only 2 pages. You just make like 3 good points and repeat those points over and over again.
Like what they taught us in elementary school.
Exactly.
Intro, conclusion, 3 middle points.
Yeah. Blog post, like you basically just take a chunk of whatever the reading was and you say, I liked this, and then you put the chunk in there because it was fascinating.
Yeah.
And then replying, you just say, this is the formula. We told him, like, this is the formula. Hi, Jen. I like how you said, and then you repeat what they said. That's a really interesting observation. I never thought of it that way. Thanks for sharing. Done.
Literally what I said all the time.
Yeah.
So
now he's down to like 90 minutes a night of homework.
Great. Wow. The things you learn
that
from
is a big
modern
improvement.
college students.
Yep.
Who just try to get by. Okay,
Dude,
so
speaking of college, I think that's a good lead in to our topic today, because like I tried so much harder in college with this than I do now. It's shaving.
It's hair removal. So my first experience with hair removal was really, really painful and so unnecessary.
Ooh.
So I was in 6th grade. And my household was, in a sense, still very traditional. Like, my mom's progressive, but, like, some should be real traditional. Like, I couldn't use a tampon when I was younger because...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I couldn't do makeup. I couldn't wear nail polish. And, I mean, this is more so, like, my dad. But in regards to shaving, like, they didn't teach me how to shave. They didn't teach me a lot of stuff about, like, my body. And I think it's just because, like, it's not a very Vietnamese thing to do. And so...
To have a body?
No, to, like, like personal
human?
care. Because, like, to adults, like, we're still kids. And, I mean, looking back, I was in 6th grade. I didn't need to shave my legs for fucking nobody. But everyone was shaving legs. And so I had tried to shave my legs with this probably dull ass razor. I didn't have any like moisturizing shaving cream on there.
Oof.
I didn't lotion up after. I didn't exfoliate, and like I just had cuts everywhere.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being at my grandparents' house, and I told my mom, I think I want to start shaving, and she made me show her my armpits. And she was like, you're lucky. When I told my mom that I wanted to start shaving, she made me take my shirt off to show her my armpits. I'm just looking through your shirt hole.
Oh my gosh.
And
That's
then
so funny.
When I shaved my legs, I was like, Mom, I'm scared. And she's like, it's the same thing as the armpits, just a bigger area. You'll be fine. And I remember like that first time, I don't know if like I wasn't doing it right or I put way too much shaving cream on, but like it did not get smooth and it was super prickly. And I remember being in PE in my little gym shorts and feeling my prickly legs and being like, oh my God, is this how I'm going to be for the rest of my life?
Oh my God. So
it was a little traumatic.
Yeah, a lot of things happened in 6th grade. Well, first of all, I missed like the whole sex ed thing in 5th grade because my mom didn't sign the permission slip for me, so I had to leave the fucking classroom. I never learned about deodorant until it was too fucking late. But I remember looking down on my arm, and I had really hairy arms. To be honest, I thought it was real cute how hairy
Really?
my arms were. Yeah, I was proud of it. I just thought it was so cute. And then this dumbass comes up to little 6th grade me, and he's just like, wow, you have really hairy arms. You should do something about it. So I went home that day and I shaved all my arms. And the thing is, like, when it grows back, it's never the same. And so since 6th grade, I've been shaving my arms
Oh
religiously.
my God.
Yeah.
Dude, I
know.
tried it I have hairy arms, but my skin is pretty pale, so I don't think it's like super
I
noticeable.
have like dark ass hair. Clearly, my head.
Yeah. But like I can't I can't consistently shave my legs, and that's why I usually wear jeans.
Yeah.
So God knows, like, I can't consistently shave my arms, which is why I don't.
Yeah, but it's more of like I wouldn't say it's like a feeling thing. It's more of like it just looks like you can see the hair because I have such dark hair. If it was lighter, I probably would have never shaved it.
Yeah, I mean, kids are mean about hair.
Kids are fucking mean. Whatever. Now this
Yeah.
insecurity I will live with forever. Thank you.
Do you remember his name?
I don't remember.
Oh,
I don't remember. He's irrelevant now.
Cool. Let's talk about why that dumbass kid said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So let's take a brief journey through time back
We
to
need some sound
the
effects.
cavemen. I don't know what that was, but that was like my little sound
a
effect.
reversal. Like, I don't know what that was.
Okay. So it's now cave people time. All right. So there's some evidence that even the cave folk were shaving, but like through most of human history, body hair removal was more of a sanitary thing than anything else.
That's so interesting.
So, you know, if you've got body hair and you're living like out in the woods, there are ticks, there are lice, there are fleas. Like, just removing the body hair removes the opportunity to become infested with parasites.
Interesting.
In that regard. So, throughout a lot of history, like, hair removal has been done for sanitary reasons. For the cave people, there's some, there's this theory that they were shaving facial hair and head hair because it prevented their, like, opponents, if they were fighting someone, from, like, grabbing the hair on your face or head.
That's
and
still the
using it
case
against
today.
you.
That's still the case today for women.
So that's a little bit of like that super early history. The first like razors that were found were like made out of seashells, and I guarantee you they did not have fucking shaving cream. They probably had intense ass razor burns, some
God.
infected cuts, and I guarantee that was not a smooth shave. But that happened. So now we go to Egypt. So like, I don't know if you have ever done much research on like the Egyptians and beauty, but they were like fucking obsessed with it.
Yes, I've heard a lot about that, where they like invented makeup, and like I was going to tell you about this later, but they invented this waxing method called sugaring.
Yes, I know. I have it in my information.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. So the Egyptians, for them, like, beauty was a multifaceted part of their life. So not just for the aesthetics, but it delineated your class, and it was also a sanitization thing. So they would remove all the hair on their head and wear wigs so that they couldn't get lice in their actual hair. If you get lice in a wig, you can take it off, you can soak it in lye, you can replace it if it gets infested. So that was done to like
Imagine
keep them clean.
how smelly it was, even in like the Roman days.
The Egyptians wore like hella fucking perfume. They were all about like smelling good and looking good.
Wow.
The Egyptians also removed all of their pubic hair whenever possible.
Can you get lice in your pubic hair?
You can. It's called pubic lice.
God.
So
I don't want to Google this.
Don't
Google it.
Don't. But yes, you can get lice in your pubes. So they would remove pubes for that reason, but also they thought that pubic hair was just like uncivilized. I don't know what about pubic hair made it uncivilized.
I'm wondering if like maybe it like got really maybe like there's just so many diseases that came with it, and so they kind of associated the two.
Yeah, possibly. It's probably having to do with like uncivilized people are infected with bugs and things like that.
Yeah.
That's probably
Or
where
maybe they were
was.
just sexually like super advanced for their time in regards to sex, and so they're like, get this hair out of the way.
We're gonna get to that.
Oh, okay.
That's in the 80s.
Okay.
So then they invented sugaring to remove body hair. Cool. Let's move on to the Romans.
All right.
Now, the Romans were also about delineating class with your appearance. So the wealthier you were as a woman, men, it's total double standard. Men could wear their hair however the fuck they wanted.
Yeah.
They could have hairy ass arms, hairy ass legs, hairy ass butthole, and like nobody cared. But right? That's my philosophy, is like, I'll wax mine if you wax yours.
You got a hairy butthole, I can have a hairy butthole.
Exactly. So Romans used tweezers. Pumice stones or pumice stones?
Pumice. I have no idea.
Oh my god.
Don't ask
pumice
Asian girl.
stones. And they've actually found dilapidatory creams. So then, like, hair removal, I mean, even for the Romans and the Egyptians, like, it was beyond being sanitary, and it was a fashion thing. Like, fashion has always driven the way that we see hair and hair removal. As the fashion at the time has changed, so has our relationship with our hair. So, like, Elizabethan women, for some reason, it was the fashion to have like a really tall forehead. So women would pluck their hairline back, and their eyebrows to get like a bigger forehead, because that was the look. So it's like there's been some intense trends as far as like removing hair to get a look.
Yeah.
So around like the 1800s, we start getting into Darwinism. And I would make the argument, and I've seen a couple other people make the argument, that Darwin actually influenced the way that we approach hair. So he said that humans evolved to be less hairy than apes because less hairy mates were more sexually attractive. If you believe that, then it stands to reason that less hairy women would be considered more sexually attractive.
Yeah.
So the less you look like an ape.
Yeah.
I'm putting that in quotes because obviously, like, just because you have body hair does not mean you look like an ape at all. But Darwinism and social hierarchy and all that awful stuff. So that would make you more civilized, more attractive, more evolved.
Okay.
If you had less hair. Around the same time, we started entering into the world of modern fashion. And this is where it gets like really fucking complicated. So like, okay, throughout history, like hair removal has occurred. This is not new at all. But as far as modern history, this really starts in 1914. Harper's Bazaar ran the first hair removal ad for underarms.
Interesting.
The reason that they started running those ads is because the fashion was changing to allow sleeveless dresses.
That's right, because before that, it was like inappropriate to show...
Super fucking scandalous. So, like, the early days of the flapper, you started getting sleeveless dresses for daytime. They were no longer scandalous.
Underarm hair, apparently.
Yes. So, in 1915, Gillette started selling the first safety razor for women, and they were running advertisements in Harper's Bazaar and these other women's magazines showing, like, beautiful women wearing sleeveless dresses with smooth underarms. And they started marketing it as, like, a fashion necessity. Like, having underarm hair would ruin your look if you were wearing one of these beautiful strapless dresses.
What?
At the same time, I know. At the same time, as we got towards the 20s, we started getting shorter and shorter hemlines, which like that now you're talking about like below the knee is exposed. I mean, definitely not that much. It was still like calf length.
Yeah.
But now you're starting to get into that realm. And now women are being told like you have to shave your underarms. So wouldn't it also apply to your legs?
That is mind blowing.
So we start getting into regular underarm shaving in the 20s. In the 1930s, like fashion changed again, became more conservative. So you started covering up your top half a little bit more, but hems kept getting shorter. Most women were not shaving their legs at this point. They were wearing nylons.
Yeah.
So there are these like thick nylon stockings that would provide a really smooth appearance to the skin. Once you got to World War II, there was an international nylon shortage.
Yeah.
So nylon was being rationed like crazy, and women couldn't get their nylons anymore.
Yeah.
So to achieve the look of nylons, they would shave their legs
That is
and
so
draw
fascinating.
on the back seam. So they would take an eyeliner pencil. So like these nylons would have like a seam on the back. So they would shave their legs, powder them, and then draw with an eyeliner pencil to make it look like they were wearing nylons.
Like the extent that women go to look beautiful is crazy to me.
Yes.
Like, yes, I also go to that extent.
But yeah, like they kind of, if they wanted to look cute, they had to shave their legs. And then like hemlines kept getting shorter. In the 1940s and 50s, the strapless dress became popularized by like Christian Dior and Chanel. So women like went back to shaving their underarms so they could wear these strapless dresses. The 60s, you had mini skirts, and nylons weren't as common, so women started shaving above the knee now. And then we get to the 70s and the counterculture movement. So women's rights and the counterculture kind of went hand in hand. And body hair was used as like a way to express, I guess, like discontent with the culture. So women...
Like you're going against what the society norms are.
Right. So women stopped shaving during that period as like a counterculture movement. So that's often why you can like you associate like hippie women with being like hairy. Is because of that movement. Meanwhile, the porn industry is starting to evolve.
So, okay, like a side note, I didn't know that in porn, women like bleach their buttholes.
Yes.
I didn't know
You didn't
that.
know you could get a butthole bleach?
I didn't know that. I found this out last weekend. I thought it was just the pubic hair thing and reconstructing like your vagina. I had no idea that people bleach their freaking butthole.
Well, no one wants to see a dark ass butthole.
Nobody wants to see a butthole, period.
That's true. Well, apparently somebody does because there's a whole industry around it. So in the 70s and 80s, porn started to become like, it started to be in video. Basically. And you started getting these like live shots of the hoo-has. And
so
to get a better shot, the women started removing their cooch hair.
Oh my God.
So now young men who are watching porn are seeing women without coochie hair. In 87, the Brazilian wax.
Man, if you have an unrealistic expectations from watching porn,
which statistically you do.
Like how the fuck you... Oh my gosh. All right, another topic, another day, another day.
We should talk about porn sometime.
As if we don't talk about it enough.
Right, I know. Well, 87 is when the Brazilian wax was invented. So once the Brazilian wax got off the ground and all these celebrities started doing it, and then like every woman in porn started doing it, it became the norm for women to totally remove their pubic hair. And that's kind of where we're at with it. I know that there's like a movement back towards not shaving. We're back to counterculture not shaving.
That was really informational. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm here to talk about the society or the culture behind it. So right now, there's the thing with body hair is that because it's been associated with like hygiene for so long, if for someone to like have body hair now, especially like women, it's like considered like dirty and like they're gross, which is like really stupid, right? Because I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that are hairless and are nasty. So we're taught at a young age to start shaving, right? Like I remember in 5th and 6th grade when they started doing these like sex ed classes, like they would give you like a mini razor to like bring home and like start testing shit out.
We didn't get a razor. Dang.
Oh yeah, it was a bougie middle school. I know middle school, I meant elementary school. So like Alexis said, in the last 20 years, there's been this really slow shift in like perspective on body hair. There's a couple of different like hair removal methods right now. The most popular ones are like razor. That's like been really popular the last decade. If you didn't know, laser, it just like pings this like really... They say that you don't feel anything, but you do. It's uncomfortable, especially in your bikini line. I haven't had it done in my bikini line. I've had it done underneath my armpit. But the thing with that is like it's really expensive. If you have a darker skin tone, it's so important who you go to. And a lot of times like it will not work because the way that laser works is that it will sense the hair follicle on your skin. So let's say if you have a darker skin tone, it can't identify where the hair follicle starts. So you're basically wasting your money.
That seems like discrimination in science.
And then on top of that, if you don't have the right professional doing it for you, you can actually like scar, you can like burn yourself, etc. It's really different for every woman. It's expensive. It's not guaranteed to work. You have to go several times. Some people swear by it, but I am a true waxer. I don't like to laser it. And so moving on to waxing. Waxing can be very painful. Again, like who you go to, what they use is so important. How you take care of that area before and after also plays a role in what kind of experience you have with waxing. So there's hard versus soft wax. So hard wax, like usually you use hard wax. That's like where they put the stick on you with the wax on it and then they'll like rip the wax off. That's called hard wax. And that is more common for like delicate areas, so like your Brazilian, your bikini, stuff like that. And then soft wax is the one where they put the wax on and then they put the strip on you. So places like your eyebrow or like your armpit per se, like they probably would use soft wax. So my first experience with waxing my bikini line, I went to the European Wax Center. And I went there for like years, you guys, because like honestly at the time that's all I knew. Like I was in my early 20s, all my friends went there. It was not affordable. But then I got introduced to like more boutique waxing, and I've never gone back to a European Wax Center. So for you ladies out there that haven't tried the like more boutique waxing centers, their wax is higher quality, so you're not going to experience a lot of the pain. The waxers are also much more professional, so you're not going in and out, right? They really take the time to prep your skin, educate you, because they're not on like such a tight schedule. And then so like the last method that's also really popular right now is sugaring. So if you have like really sensitive skin, which I know you do, and you want to try waxing,
I cannot wax. Like, it doesn't matter where. Like, I cannot do it. I break out so bad. Yeah. It's so painful.
Yeah, so try sugaring. So sugaring, it's just like a mixture of like lemon juice, like water, honey, and then of course sugar, right? But that they'll like massage it on you, and the stickiness from this concoction will help rip the hair off. Another one is threading. I used to do threading for my eyebrows. And I don't know, it just gives me anxiety every time I do it. I mean, it's probably not any better than waxing, but those are some of your options. Now, going back to the cultural norms, right? Like when it comes to body hair, it's like this invisible social practice that you do. That's what they refer it to. Everyone does it. You just don't really talk about it, right? And for women, it's it's so sexist because most of the time
Yes.
women are waxing or taking care of themselves and removing their hair because of the men, because either the men prefer it, or they're just insecure about it and they want to do it for their man. Men like do not do it as often. They don't do it for their lady or whoever their partner is. They also noted in one of this research that men who are more like either metrosexual or gay men also wax or remove their body hair more often. And that's the reason. And the reason is because it's considered unmanly for men to remove hair.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like when men have like armpits and hair on their chest and arms, it's considered manly in some cultures. So that's why they don't remove it. Yeah.
Interesting.
And so the research that I was looking at basically concluded that when you have men as sexual partners, whether you're a man or a woman or, that led to more dissatisfaction with your body hair. And then theoretically, you have more interest in removing it. So it all centers back to the man.
To men.
Yeah. And when I go out and I spend so much money on waxing, it's not so much for my man. It's more so like my, I guess like how I feel about myself, which maybe it is because of men. I don't know. But it's just more comfortable for me when I go.
Have you ever had an experience like with a man where you felt insecure about your body hair and like maybe that's
it's all in my mind because like no one's ever told me anything. I think it's just in my mind, and then going back to like society telling me that I'm hairy,
right?
But like I just can't imagine me not going like completely hairless, like me just growing everything out. It's uncomfortable.
I mean, you get used to it.
Yeah. But the hair removals is very different among most countries. Mm-hmm. For instance, in Asia, it's not as westernized as now. So like they actually don't really mind removing hair. Like they just kind of keep it there. I know with Asian women, like they don't really like, they kind of leave a little bit of stuff there. You know what I mean? So
are you talking about pubic hair?
Pubic hair. Pubic hair. Yeah. So like in Asia, and this is different. Like if you're someone who's more westernized, then maybe you follow more Western norms of like waxing everything off. But with most Asian women, they kind of just like leave it there, and they're not. I guess they prefer to leave it there. They just shave like their legs and their underarms, but they tend to leave their bikini area untouched. And then with Middle Eastern women, they usually use like sugaring. And for them, the practice of removing hair is something that they're also taught at like a very young age. And I came across this other article where she was a Middle Eastern woman, and she said that she's just made to feel very insecure about her ethnicity and herself because she's so hairy, and that living in America, it's like so common for people to be smooth and like not have hair. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it becomes an insecurity. And then in France, it was really interesting. Like they said, like the whole like au naturel thing isn't really that popular. It was just like a marketing myth.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you have time, look into it more. And then also, did you know that Brazilian wax didn't come from Brazil?
It's from LA, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an American term. And the procedure isn't even popular in Brazil.
What I think like the gals who did it are Brazilian. I think that's where that came from. The gals who opened the first salon to do it are Brazilian, so they just started calling it the Brazilian.
Yeah. So
which, like that's kind of that seems a little off, but okay.
Yeah. So
but then let's go on that for a second.
Okay.
Like taking into consideration that the Brazilian wax style did not come from Brazil. Mm-hmm. And like the association with the Brazilian wax and like hypersexualized women, so like women in porn, women in Hollywood, things like that, who are often hypersexualized, doesn't that just add to the fetishization of Latin women?
Absolutely.
If you
Absolutely.
believe that, like, the Brazilian came from Brazil because Brazilian women have Brazilian waxes, and that's like
Like
a super sexy
imagine
thing.
imagine a dude going over there and like lands a Brazilian woman and he like finds out that she doesn't get a Brazilian wax. Like imagine how dumb he must feel.
Yeah. I just, like, I've always been curious about, like, what it is about having no pubic hair that is so, like, appealing.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have something really scary to say about that.
Oh no, because it makes me think that, like, makes you
Yeah.
look like a little
Yes.
girl.
So I mean, like, I'm sure most men associate with it just being, I guess,
Porn.
like porn, and then having it, you know, there's nothing there, right? But I'm sure that somewhere, like, some men associate with it being an adolescent. You
Yeah.
know, some men are actually uncomfortable to have their women completely wax everything because of that fact as well.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, I'm gonna get a little TMI on the podcast here, but
Yeah.
my husband does not like totally bare.
Yeah.
Because he says, like, like, you look like a child, and I'm not cool with that.
Yeah, well, good for him. I so with waxing, there's a couple of reasons why I prefer like waxing everything. Is one, like leaving like a landing strip is fucking weird. One time I went to, not just my preference. There's nothing wrong with it. My preference. It's just weird to have a landing strip. I've never had it, but one time I went to go wax and they're like, "Oh, do you want any design?" I'm like, "What do you mean design?" And she's like,
Dude.
some people do hearts." And I'm like, what?
Have you ever heard of vajazzling?
No, tell me.
Oh my god, it's bedazzling your vagina.
Did you know that there's such thing as vagina facials? Let me
Yes,
tell you
like
about that
steaming. Gwyneth Paltrow does it. She steams her vagina.
after. So my homegirl went to get a vagina facial and
Yes.
it was like $125 because, okay, it's like
For her
doing
to
a real
squat
facial.
over it.
It's like a facial for your vagina. So I guess you lay down and they steam it, they mask it, they wax it, and it's a whole experience. And they massage it non-sexually, of course.
Ooh, jeez.
And she said that it was a really cool experience. I'm like, where in OC can I go get this vagina facial? Because that sounds really interesting. I want to get it pampered.
I I don't. I would be so scared of getting, like, an infection.
Well,
'Cause,
like,
but, like, having stuff on the outside,
it has nothing to
stuff
do
can
with the
get
inside.
I know, but if they massage it wrong, they can massage that mask right on in.
Well, so what I'm thinking what happens is, like, okay, so you go in and she probably steams it so that the hair follicles are relaxed.
Okay.
Probably goes through the process of like waxing it, layering on a mask so that it's less irritating, and then maybe she massages like a after oil on. You know, so
yeah, I don't want a stranger massaging my vagina.
but some of the benefits that come with waxing is you get softer hair. Like you really do get softer hair, and you get less hair grown out. So I've been waxer for years now, and in between the times I do get waxed and I go every 4 weeks, like it becomes less and less hairy, if that makes sense. Like it grows out less. The hairs also come out a lot smoother. And some care that I have to take is, like, I use this. I started using the brand Fur to kind of like help keep everything moisturized, and you know, it's probably unnecessary, but I do it.
You do you.
Yeah.
You do you, cooch.
And let me tell you, during quarantine, when everything was closed, I had to try shaving. It was so fucking difficult.
Yeah.
I couldn't do
I know
it.
there's a lot of nooks and crannies.
And you know, like, I got that big ass shaver, the brick with the brick
yeah.
at the end. Anyways, also, like, why do razors have to be pink, you guys? There's
The pink tax.
there's so many like female like hair products, and it's just so girly.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the pink tax. That's gonna be one of our episodes.
Yeah.
Have you
let's
heard
do
of that?
I have.
It's awful.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that episode. But anyways,
Yeah.
anything else that we have to cover about? Let's do our final thoughts on this.
Listen. It's your body and your body hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like there is this societal expectation that women are going to be hairless.
Mm-hmm.
And like we're getting a little bit better about it, but it still makes headlines when a celebrity like doesn't shave their armpits.
Yeah.
Whoop-de fucking
like when
do.
Lady Gaga dyed her underarm green.
Which I think is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
If I had enough armpit hair, I would do it. But I guess for me, like as a woman who hates hair removal, like I avoid shaving at all costs.
But you also like really have light hair.
Yes. Well, my leg hair is fairly dark. But you know, like as a woman who does not go get waxed every 4 weeks,
Yeah.
it's frustrating to even like be in a group of girls and they're all talking about like how like their most recent wax experience, and you know, you kind of like miss out on some of the like the female camaraderie, but I'm not willing to like put myself through that much pain
And you shouldn't.
and financial
It's
like,
expensive.
investment just to remove body hair that like
I
is
would
going to
say
grow back naturally.
$1,500 a year.
Oh my god,
I
do you
didn't
really
wax.
spend $1,500 a year?
I spend anywhere from $80 to $100 because I also wax my eyebrows.
Oh my
I know.
god.
I know. It's
God bless you.
okay, my final thoughts on it. I like being on the other spectrum where I prefer to wax and stuff like that. I just wish it wasn't as expensive. And I like wish I didn't have this insecurity about my hair. And like I say wish, and I could totally do it, but as of right now I prefer doing it.
If that's what makes you feel comfortable, then
Yeah.
go for it. Like it's your hair and your body.
Yeah.
So let's not like shame other women for not removing their hair, and let's not shame women who do remove their hair.
Yeah, it doesn't make you any more or less attractive. Doesn't make you any more or less clean or feminine.
And if you're with
So-
a man who refuses to like have sex with a girl who has hair, like
Also,
fuck
if you're
that dude.
also if your man can't go down on you, like you need to leave him. This is true.
And if he can't do it while you have hair,
You need to leave
Like-
him.
if you can stuff a dick down your mouth with like a thing of pubes staring at you, no, we need to talk about this,
Oh,
Jennifer.
wait, hold on. Okay, on this topic, men, you have to be considerate. I'm not saying wax it.
No, but just trim it every
Just-
now and again.
There's a lot going on already, and
Yeah. Like there's nothing worse than being mid blowjob and getting like a long pube stuck in your throat.
oh my god, I'm like so red right now.
Right?
Like
That's happened to all of us.
no, it's like you just kind of like gotta push it back. like a sheep.
Bye.
Bye, peace out.